Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I will be starting my very first model kit project today with the guidance of my boyfriend, who is very experienced when it comes to building models. Alrighty, let's get into the unboxing. Firstly, we will be looking at the manual. For today's video, we will only be working on the hull and the deck, which is step 1. It also comes with some important information, as well as the sprues with all the different parts. It also comes with some thread that we will be using for the rigging later on. I will be starting with the hull first, and here you can have a nice look at the details. Next, I will be removing the parts from the sprues. There's still some excess plastic left from the sprues, and I will be removing it with a knife. The first piece was a bit challenging. I did go a bit too deep in one or two spots, but it is rectifiable, don't worry. This one, I've definitely started getting the hang of it. It was a lot easier, and I think it turned out a lot more smooth than the first one. Here I will be taking the two pieces of the hull and fitting them together to check if they line up nicely and if there are any gaps. In this case, there was quite a gap, so I will be using some tape to secure the two pieces together a bit more firmly. I will also be adding some clamps as additional support and to close those gaps even further for the next step, which will be applying our glue. I will be using Mr. Hobby's Mr. Cementalax to glue the two halves together. Now I'll be moving on to the next sprue and starting with the deck. The process will be the same as that of the hull. I will be removing them from the sprues and also removing the excess pieces of plastic. At this point, I couldn't help but notice that the shavings look a lot like chocolate. For these parts, I will be switching over to sandpaper to try and remove the excess pieces of plastic more effectively. Usually I can't stand sandpaper. I can't deal with the sound it makes and the texture, but this was quite a fine sandpaper, so it didn't bother me as much. Here I'll just be checking how all the pieces fit together on the deck, and I'd also like to point out that the staircase doesn't reach the top there. And now I'll be using an airbrush to prime the deck and all the other parts. As a bonus, I got to touch up my boyfriend's German pocket battleship that he's working on. I did kind of go overboard a little bit. Now I will be removing the tape from the hull so that I can apply the putty to hide the seam lines. Before applying the putty, I will be sanding down the seam to make sure it's nice and smooth and even. And finally, I will be using Mr. White putty mixed with Mr. Leveling Thinner to hide all the seams and fill any gaps that might still be there. And this about wraps up part 1 of the new Bedford whaler. Stay tuned to watch part 2, where we'll be sanding down the putty and starting the painting process. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.